Life has a way of surprising us when we least expect it. One day, everything seems to be moving along smoothly, and then out of nowhere, the ground beneath your feet shifts, leaving you grappling with uncertainty. That's how it felt when I heard the words that no one ever wants to hear. You have cancer. In that moment, time seemed to stop. The world became a blur of doctors, medical terms, and a whirlwind of emotions: fear, anger, confusion. But amidst it all, a small voice inside whispered, "This is not the end of your story." The journey through illness is not just a battle of the body, it is a battle of the mind and spirit. The first hurdle was accepting the reality of my diagnosis. It's easy to fall into despair, to feel like a victim of circumstances beyond your control. But I realized early on that if I were to come through this, I couldn't afford to give my fear more power than my hope. I made a decision not just to fight for survival, but to fight for my life, my dreams, and the person I wanted to be on the other side of this challenge. Every day brought a new test of strength. Treatment was grueling, and there were days when even getting out of bed felt impossible. I lost my appetite, my energy, and at times my faith, but I didn't lose sight of the one thing that mattered most, the belief that I could get through this. I found strength in the little things: the warmth of the sun on my face, the sound of laughter from loved ones, the support of people who reminded me that I was not alone. Support became my anchor. Family, friends, and even strangers rallied around me in ways I could never have imagined. Their words of encouragement, their acts of kindness, and their unwavering belief in my ability to overcome gave me the courage to keep going. I learned that it's okay to lean on others, to let them carry some of the weight when it feels too heavy to bear alone. Through it all, I discovered something profound about myself. Resilience is not about being unbreakable, it's about allowing yourself to bend without breaking. There were moments when I cried, moments when I doubted, and moments when I felt utterly defeated. But each time I fell, I made a conscious choice to get back up. I told myself, this is just one chapter of your life, not the whole story. Cancer taught me to appreciate the beauty of the present moment. When you face the possibility of losing everything, you begin to see how precious life truly is. I stopped taking the little things for granted: the sound of rain, the taste of my favorite meal, the simple joy of waking up to a new day. I learned to find gratitude even in the midst of pain, because every breath, every heartbeat was a reminder that I was still here, still fighting. The journey wasn't just about fighting the disease, it was about transforming my mindset. I started to focus on what I could control rather than what I couldn't. I couldn't change my diagnosis, but I could change how I responded to it. I chose to nourish my body with healthy foods, to move when I could, and to rest when I needed to. I chose to fill my mind with positivity books, music, and stories of others who had triumphed over adversity. And most importantly, I chose to believe in my own strength, even when it felt like the odds were stacked against me. As the treatments progressed, I began to notice small victories. A day with less pain, a test result that showed progress, a moment of laughter in the midst of chaos. Each of these victories, no matter how small, became fuel for my spirit. They reminded me that progress is not always linear, but every step forward is a step closer to healing. There were times when I questioned why this had happened to me. Why was I chosen to bear this burden? But over time, I came to see the experience as a teacher rather than a punishment. Cancer taught me about the fragility of life, but also about its resilience. It taught me about the power of hope, the importance of connection, and the incredible strength that lies within each of us, even when we feel weakest. Recovery was not a sudden transformation, it was a gradual process of rebuilding, physically, mentally, and emotionally. It required patience, perseverance, and a willingness to embrace the uncertainty of the journey. There were setbacks along the way, moments when I felt like I was back at square one. But each setback became an opportunity to recommit to the fight, to remind myself of why I was determined to overcome. As the months went by, I began to feel a shift not just in my body, but in my perspective on life. I realized that I had been given a second chance, and I didn't want to waste it. I started to dream again, to think about the future not with fear, but with excitement. I made a promise to myself that I would live with purpose, that I would use my experience to inspire others and remind them that even in the darkest moments there is light. Today, as I stand here, I am not the same person I was before this journey began. I am stronger, more grateful, and more aware of the incredible gift of life. I have learned that challenges are not meant to break us, they are meant to shape us, to help us discover the depth of our strength and the beauty of our resilience. If there is one message I want to leave with you, it is this: no matter what you are facing, no matter how insurmountable it may seem, you have the power within you to rise above it. The road may be long and difficult, but every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to the other side. And when you come through it, you will be amazed at the person you've become, the strength, the wisdom and the courage that you never knew you had. Life is a series of challenges and triumphs, of setbacks and comebacks. It is not the absence of difficulty that defines us, but how we choose to respond to it. I chose to fight, to hope, and to believe in a better tomorrow. And because of that choice, I'm here today, not just as a survivor, but as someone who has been transformed by the journey. To anyone facing their own battle, I want you to know that you are not alone. You are stronger than you think, braver than you feel, and more capable than you can imagine. Hold on to hope, lean on those who care about you, and never stop believing in the possibility of a brighter future. Because even in the darkest nights, the dawn will come. And when it does, it will be more beautiful than you ever dreamed.